They said that NASA or the government might want to consider keeping the information from the public.
And the government abruptly stopped its search for extraterrestrial life.
For certain people, that's not something that they want to either believe in or allow anybody to know that they believe in.
We'll expose what the government does to military officers who report UFOs.
I got letters from high-ranking officers that they had no record of such an aircraft ever existing.
And we'll sum up the UFO conspiracy in our Unex report. There's much more to come on Unexplained Mysteries. Undercover UFOs. Black Projects. That's the name for secret military development efforts.
Certainly some of these things are going to look very strange. They're very unlike aircraft with which people are familiar.
There seems to be a connection between Black Projects and UFO sightings.
Well, certainly the history of the flying saucer phenomena suggests that in the past, classified programs resulted in a lot of reports of flying saucers. And if you see all of the instances where conventional aircraft have been misinterpreted as flying saucers, it's quite easy to understand how unconventional aircraft could receive a similar misinterpretation.
In the Nevada desert, we have things out there that are literally out of this world.
Groom Lake, Nevada, also known as Area 51, where experts believe the military is working on top-secret projects.
They have a hangar near the south end of the ramp that appears to have doors that are almost 200 feet tall, 400 feet wide. You can put anything in there. One of the problems associated with Groom Lake is the fact that it is a place that does not officially exist.
Area 51 is the most tightly secured installation in this country. It's guarded both over the air and on the ground by elite Air Force security police and Department of Energy special response teams. If someone came to me and said there's just absolutely nothing that's secret, and they decided they were going to hike into Area 51, I think that could be the biggest and perhaps the last mistake they are going to make in their life.
There are rumors of a secret project called Aurora, in which the Air Force is said to be inventing a craft using highly advanced technology.
I think there's a strong possibility that we have recovered some sort of alien technology and are trying to incorporate that into military programs.
Are they really hiding something that's totally alien? Is this otherworldly technology that's being applied to Air Force Black projects?
Sonic booms have been reported in Los Angeles, evidence of high-speed, unidentified craft. They've been traced back to Groom Lake, Nevada.
We really can't tell what's moving. The only thing we see is a sonic boom, and that's telling us that something is moving faster than the speed of sound. So actually, we can't even tell it's an airplane.
The military maintains its position of denial.
Every time that there's a story about Aurora or the TR-3A Black Manta in the Popular Science or the New York Times or something else, Congress calls the Pentagon on the carpet and says, what's the deal? They want to know if these planes exist. And every time they've asked about those planes, they've been told there is no such thing.
The military's established a pattern of denial concerning these highly capricious wild aircraft beginning in the late 50s and continuing to this day.
Two UFO experts investigated Area 51 up close. They saw several red-orange objects in the sky.
They started at great height, seemed to descend, and then flared out. It was startling. Then a series of silver pewter flashes went directly across the horizon at terrific speed. One of these silver flashes went directly up into the air. The bottom one seemed nearly to hug the ground.
When they tried to leave the base, they were stopped by security.
Boom. Headlights come on. There was an M16 pointed at us. And here we were faced with a life and death situation. But we also knew that we had crossed the line back into public domain, and therefore we were safe.
3 months later, Mark Farmer saw the same red-orange flying objects.
I saw the object exhibit entirely unconventional flight characteristics. At times it would wobble around in the sky and appear very unstable. At other times it would be in a rock-hard hover. It was an oblated sphere, multicolored, crimson on bottom, blue-green on top, much brighter than anything else in the sky.
Robert Lazar, the aerospace engineer who worked at Area 51, is convinced that these objects were experimental Air Force craft developed from alien technology. He claims there are at least 9 flying saucers stored there.
I was part of a back engineering group, and our job was basically to look at these recovered discs, and I say recovered because I don't know really where they came from. Whether they're given to us, we found them, shot them down, who knows what. But our group basically was to back engineer them, which means to start with a finished product and go backward and see how it was fabricated, and try and duplicate some of that technology with earthly materials.
To me, Bob Lazar is credible. Over the past couple of years, I've spoken to literally dozens of people who have worked at that facility out there in Nevada. I think the technology at Area 51 originally came from somewhere else.
The military disavows any knowledge of the alien technology program.
I don't think the military has any credibility with the public in terms of its denials of this program or that program. They've denied the U-2 existed, they denied the SR-71 existed, they denied working on stealth. All of those programs suddenly were unveiled.
Coming up on Unexplained Mysteries, the destruction of one of NASA's most valuable space probes. Was it intentional?
It did not lose transmission. They turned it off.
The promising search for extraterrestrial intelligence that the government ended abruptly.
If our government knew that we got signal from outer space, they'd clamp a lid on it.
The mysterious UFO sightings on the ground at MacDill Air Force Base.
It was nearly 100 feet across.
The military headquarters for a secret UFO intelligence team.
Wright-Patterson had something unique to our government, and that was the Technical Intelligence Organization.
And the government's refusal to divulge UFO secrets.
A lot of people say, well, how can something be kept secret? The F-117 stealth fighter was kept secret for approximately 10 years.
And you'll get the ultimate rundown with our UNX report. More secrets, more revelations. Next on Unexplained Mysteries. Unexplained Mysteries, Undercover UFOs. The government's cover-up of alien life extends to other planets. The unmanned Mars Observer was packed with sensitive data-gathering equipment. But it never completed its mission. NASA blamed the failure on technical malfunction. But experts think there's more to NASA's story. It starts with a strange area on the red planet known as Cydonia.
It's quite possible that NASA knows more about anomalous structures on Mars, possible extraterrestrials, even structures on our moon that they're not telling us about.
There is sufficient evidence to indicate that some of the objects on Mars may possibly be artificial.
NASA says the objects on Mars are just light and shadow. But 3D imaging reveals something startling.
I was quite interested with the first photos and release of the face on Mars. But particularly I thought it was interesting the pyramidal structures. Some of these pyramids appear to have even a central stairway running up and down them. The more we look at these structures, the more we can